I haven't heard that story because I like so with me when I first got into like stuff, I guess I was like oblivious to who was already doing things. And so all these big namers like, Inky Johnson, Tony Robbins, Eric Thomas, Les Brown, all these things. So I wasn't really into that, but it was kind of like I was on my own journey. And I guess just like when I did ball, I didn't like idolize these people because all that time that I could be watching them, what am I doing with me? Mm-hmm. And so I guess where I'm at, where we're talking about making that difference and making that change is kind of like once you know who you are and you love who you are now, and you know how I said, your problem becomes your purpose. Now you start looking at, well, what is the need? And through that need, for instance, we were saying like, I wanted to be what I needed when I was younger. Mm-hmm. So I needed mentorship. I needed resources. I needed, opportunity, right? Exposure. So now through this organization, Vancouver Elite Outreach, before we even get into the service that we do, our stuff is different from everybody else, but what makes us different is all about what we believe. So we believe in enhancing the individual to be the best version of themselves. And then we believe in thinking differently, better mind, better lifestyle. And I think when you get to that point where you're crafting that, and you go, well, how do you continue to go? We do a piece called Open Up Your Blind Side. That's our curriculum that we use, but it's an inner work that you're doing. Okay. And then through that inner work that you're doing, if it's testimony, if it's agendas, or you hear something just like this stuff is going to do insight within for us to question or, I never thought about that. But then it's what you do with that. Right. Like at the end of the day, what's his, John C. Maxwell says this thing that I went to one of his things. He said, ACT, apply, change, teach. That spells act. Yeah. But we have all this time to be acting on things. But again, if you're not applying, you're not changing, and you're not teaching, you're not each one teach one and nothing. Mm-hmm. It's like free game. Yeah. Like everything that we have is not created for me, it's free. And that's
I think that.
And the thing is, because some people say like, but what if I don't have that lifestyle? If I don't have that lifestyle, can I not tap in? And I believe that you don't have to basically go through suffering to tap in. You just got to be real.
Yeah, right.
And being...
But everybody has problems.
True.
Yeah.
But so like, for instance, I work on the east side, right? And I'm working with kids that financially are good. Mm-hmm. They're not going to get evicted, 40 acres, basketball hoop, golf carts, just the life, right? Mm-hmm. And when I'm out there, I don't have to say, hey, you need to make more. Dad is, I don't even tell him I'm making money. I need to get like under him and how do I, what's the secret? What do I, because and my thing is, because, that event was so amazing, but I don't just credit me. Mm-hmm. Like the opportunity was for everybody. And then whoever came got empowered that wanted to be. Mm-hmm. And I think the thing that keeps me grounded a lot is, bro, I'm just a baker that found bread. Mm-hmm. And that keeps me where it's like, I'm chilling, bro. Like, mm-hmm. And that mentality, people are like, but you're putting yourself down. No, I'm not, because I'm still seeing what's going on in my life that is changing. Mm-hmm. But who am I to be like, because I feel like once you feed the ego, then that's when I feel like you're just going to crash and burn your own stuff. Mm-hmm. And
we talked about that.
And I think a lot of times it's kind of like we look for that. And then what happens if we don't get that affirmation? Mm-hmm. Then the world is over. And so it's just like, bro, I'm just like I said, I'm a beggar, bro.
Yeah,
like,
you know what's crazy to me?
Man, I'd be like, scratch all that. Because it's even just like the other day, right? There's this young 18-year-old filmer. He was on the news, right? And I'll be dumb in a direction that I'm trying to go, but have no information. So then I'll be foolish, basically not asking for guidance. But then when we do that, it's kind of like, no, I'm not going to ask because I don't want to seem like because I'm this age. Age ain't got no number, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
No, it has to, but it's just like saying like flesh and spirit,
Yeah, because ego.
Yeah, but what's crazy too, so I was at this counseling thing with my daughter, right? And it's child play. During child play, everything stems off of feelings, right? And then in feelings, depending on whatever the circumstance is, like maybe you fail. Now you have learned that in your mind, when you fall, daddy reacts this way. If you fall, mommy reacts this way. Right. So it's kind of like the movie Inside Out. You got all this in your head that are, you know, basically making moments off your feelings. Who's to say if it's right or not? But because it's in our head, now it's right. But then when you get awoke, you're gonna be like, whoa, no. Like it's just like now that we're in a society where if you whoop your kids, you're gonna just basically, they can call the cops and say, I got abused.
Pick them up.
No, right. No, for real. The kids are like, hey, I got abused by my mom, right? Yeah. But in that old way of learning that way, and it's not, it was just for that time, right? Because everything evolves. Now in this time, I feel like we're coming back where you can express yourself. Everybody said, but you're soft when you do that. No, I think expressing your feelings is a healthy way. Yeah. But then how do you channel whatever it is that you're trying to channel? Hey, I made me feel this way. That doesn't mean I'm soft. You're setting boundaries. Mm-hmm. And so I feel like, how do we just like where we're at with self, how do we be the best of ourselves? Mm-hmm. Because I can't, you know, at the end of the day, and just like this, like if I'm like, Nate, you need to get better. You need to do this. You might let that slide a couple times. But if I go a lifetime and like a job-wise and telling you, you need to get better, and you hear that all the time, she said through child play, your first emotion is anger. You're going to be like, Matt, bro, like I heard you like the something time. Mm-hmm. Shut up, bro. Mm-hmm. Now, boom. And they're just building blocks. And I feel like, I don't know, I feel like because everything's so jacked up, it's kind of like all you really can do is save yourself, but influence everybody else. Mm-hmm. But how do you influence not this, but with this? Mm-hmm. You feel me?
Everything has, I think
all right. And I like that you say that because I think the reason why people fall into the victim mentality because nobody's saying that there's a different way out. So when you see people, or maybe we might not even,
and because it's easy.
So this is where my difference is.
Where it's easy.
Right. So this, like with me, when I was dealing with dyslexia, I never heard somebody say, you could be better. So in my little bubble or whatever, it was like, oh, your son's mentally retarded. Oh, this is what, IEP. So it wasn't like somebody saying, yeah. Right. Well, it's funny is, so before I moved with Rachel, my roommate, you know, at the time when I was going through all my craziness, it was like I was getting basically freed from all this like slavery. So when I moved into his house, he didn't have TVs. And so it made you be in a position where, you know, normally it's like you interact this way, right? Mm-hmm. No, you got board games, you're reading. It's more intimate. Mm-hmm. And we did that for 2 years. And it was so amazing because everything we did was intimate. And a lot of times where, you know, we're talking about, you know, this stuff or what's going on is this is feeding us something that may be killing us, you know?
It is feeding something that's killing us.
But we're in a way where it's like, it's entertaining. We justify it. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. It's just a show.
Yeah.
I just need a couple laughs, man. I worked all day.
Right.